In 2014, I had a pretty bad bicycle accident. I hit a speed bump and went over the handlebars and dislocated my shoulder and separated my bicep, and it was bad. And I had to find a surgeon to operate on me. And I chose somebody with experience who had done this sort of thing before. There are two candidates for county auditor this year. I've been doing this for 22 years. I'm one of 3 people in the United States of America that has been an election official at the federal, state, and local level. 3 of us. Kim Wyman's the one of the 3. My opponent, his level of knowledge about election administration comes from listening to a guy who sells pillows on the internet. He had a forum here on election integrity and invited this guy, Douglas Frank, who is a former high school math teacher from Texas. And the Washington Post did a profile on Douglas Frank and his theories about election fraud, and the Washington Post called his theories idiotic. So the choice this November is somebody who's a certified election administrator with more than 20 years of election experience, or someone with 0 experience. I think experience is important. I think qualifications are important, and I hope you do too. We got a spreadsheet from my opponent. To describe that as nonpartisan is fraudulent, quite frankly. I mean, he was chair of the Mason County Republican Election Integrity Committee. So to describe that as nonpartisan is a fraud. He identified 480 voter anomalies. I looked at every single one of those people myself. 60% of the anomalies my office already knew about. So people that have moved, people that have died, 60% we knew about it. So this was, the information he provided us was information we had. 20% was just plain wrong. Military and overseas voters who are entitled by law to not reside where they are registered to vote, and also just factually incorrect information. In one example, there's a place over here on Coulter Creek Road that they said the house didn't exist. If you type the address into Google Maps, it drops a dot on a house. These people get their mail there. They voted in every election for 15 years, and supposedly they don't exist and their house doesn't exist. So 20% was wrong. 20%, the last 20%, about 80 people, I don't know. There are 20 people in the county who are registered to vote at mailboxes. So their residential address is, for example, the Allyn post office. We now have systems in place so new registrants can't register at the Allyn post office. All I am entitled to do by law is send them a letter and say, please tell me where you live. We have done that. There were 120 of those when we started that process. There are 20 now. I don't have, and I shouldn't have, the legal ability to unregister people to vote because somebody sends me a spreadsheet. There is a process in law to challenge a voter registration. There's a form on the Secretary of State's website that you can challenge somebody's voter registration. Since I have been auditor, in the 3.5 years that I have been auditor, exactly 0 voter registrations have been challenged by my opponent or anybody else. If you believe people are committing fraud, you follow the law and file voter registration challenges. You don't send a spreadsheet.